Hi everybody. Whilst many of you have subscribed to this channel because it's a so-called Formula One YouTubing platform, the real purpose is to try to expose other elements of what's going on in life to everybody. The actual whole process of what took place in Abu Dhabi made me see to a much greater degree some of the injustices in life that I knew were there, uh, but I didn't see as clearly. And as the process evolved, that clarity also increased. So as you can see with the last video that I showed you, the one that's the blue thumbnail there, what we could see ahead of Abu Dhabi, I believed in what I believe was a system, a process, whereby if there is a problem in life, if there is an injustice in life, then you approach the people who should be able to tackle that injustice, deal with that injustice, to right the wrongs. You have governing bodies, you have enforcement agencies, you have a system that is supposedly there to protect the individual rights of every single one of us. And there's lots of different versions of that in all the different facets of what impacts our life. Okay, whether that's public services, whether that's law, whether that's anything, consumer protection, all these sorts of things. In theory, we are led to believe there are systems in place that are that offer protection to us all, and that offers a form of recourse if things aren't right. They just pay people lip service. They don't operate as they should. You go to a bigger level, government. The government of any country should be there to manage the affairs of that country, manage the affairs of the country so that it enriches the lives of the citizens of the country. We're all people. We all live on this planet. We all live in a given country. We are supposedly told we have this democratic system whereby we elect individuals who will represent us to make the decisions for the country that are best for us and our lives. That clearly does not happen. Many better decisions could be made, which would be much more beneficial to us and our lives. And our government doesn't make those decisions. Instead, what it does, it enables multinational companies, massive businesses, to rape us. It allows them to fleece us, raising the cost burden to us in our lives, allowing them to make billions and making our lives more challenging than they need be. That's facilitated by government policy, because it's quite easy for governments to say, no, you're not doing that to our people. You attempt to do that, this is how much we will tax you for operating in our country. And if you don't want to operate in our country, if you threaten to withdraw your services from our country, not a problem. We will set up our own version of what you do and supply that to our citizens at a much cheaper price. It's really quite simple. It's really quite simple in so many facets. But instead of having nationalised versions of things where they are run as cheaply as possible for the benefit of the people, we have this system of, we will transfer the ownership of that service to private investment, allowing people to rape people for billions of pounds. That's what happens. And they sell that to you as if that's the best way of operating. They sell that to you as, oh, that's the only way it can work efficiently if it's in private hands. Because any publicly owned company always fails. It's never run efficiently. So how come a privately owned company can be run efficiently, but a publicly owned one can't? What's going on there then? What's the difference? You get the same people doing the same job. Why can't you run it efficiently? It's just a bullshit excuse, isn't it? It's a bullshit excuse to enable them to sell off things to their friends, for their friends to make billions and give them a backhander, right? And we are the people that lose out all of the time. Now, this is going well away from Formula One. I understand that, and I understand that that will switch a lot of people off. But the problem is, we all just want to live a life and we all want to enjoy what we enjoy. But our lives aren't what they could be. Our lives are more challenging than they should be. The protections that, and when I'm talking about protections, protection from tyranny, they're supposed to be there, but they're not there. And why is that? It's because the tyrants have got control of the system. The bastards with no morals, no integrity, have got control of the system and are running it that way. And what they do, they condition people's minds to accept it to be that way and to believe that's the only way. Oh yeah, there's no alternative. You've either got free market capitalism where we can just rape the fuck out of you, extract every fucking pound out of you that we can. You've either got that, or you've got communism. Oh, and you wouldn't want to be like China or Russia, would you? You wouldn't want to be like China or Russia. Yeah, they're bastards, they are. You wouldn't want to be like that. So you've got free market economy where you've got the free world of the West, the free Western world, everybody. Look at you, how lucky you are to live in the democracy. The freedom. Otherwise, it's communism. They're the only two alternatives. So you've got to let us keep fucking you. And we'll be on our yachts in the Monaco harbour, having a lovely time. You can watch it on the TV and wave your flags and hero worship us. That's what they sell you. And some of you like it. Some of you buy into that. Some of you think that you're living your best life in that. Some of you are at a certain level where you think you've made it. You're earning a sufficient amount of money whereby you're able to live the sort of life that you aspired to, and you're content with that. Some of us just want a fairer society. Some of us value different things in life. Some of us know what's truly important. And then truly important things are being neglected to enable corrupt people to prosper. And how does that extrapolate to Formula One? Well, corrupt people have prospered. Corruption from the very top of a sport has fixed an outcome of a sporting event, and they've used media to condition minds of masses to believe it to be authentic. That is fucked up. Okay, that is fucked up. I can't express it in any clearer terms. And they've introduced conflict into the sport of Formula One. They purposefully sought to introduce conflict because that is their way of securing greater involvement, investment in it from people. Conflict. Dirty bastards dividing people for their agenda to increase their wealth. That's filthy. And there's a list. And it starts with JC Malone at the top of Liberty Media. And every fucker along the way that's on that gravy train benefiting from it, trickling down to the likes of the scum that is Andrew Benson at the BBC, parroting that same fucking narrative. Each and every one of them are bastards, part of a fraudulent system that's conditioning minds about a falsehood. And that's just the example of Formula One. In every other element of society, you can pick this out. But I don't want to go into every single facet of society. I want to use this specific example to try to get people to then see their examples for themselves. Examples that they will be aware of, that are happening in their local area, in their country. Because as soon as you start seeing the mechanisms of this, as soon as you start seeing who's really benefiting from these situations, when decisions are made that are clearly not the right decisions, clearly not tackling the problems, clearly not the simple solutions that would solve the issues, why? And the reason why is someone is benefiting somewhere along the line. Who is that? Who's benefiting is ultimately pulling the strings of those who are tasked with making the decision. That's corruption. Because those decision makers should be held accountable by those people who it actually impacts. And they're not, because they've been bought. And that's exactly what is going on in Formula One. You have a governing body that should be upholding the rules and regulations of the sport. And they don't do that because they've been bought. And who have they been bought by? Well, the owners of the show pull their strings. They make them do what the owners of the show want. That's corrupt. We see Red Bull favoured by so much of it. So clearly, Red Bull are involved in this. There are clear links. There are clear links. Now, how does this extrapolate to other aspects of life? Well, very recently, okay, was it today, yesterday, whatever, Julian Assange. Some of you may have heard of the name. Let's just have a quick read of this. Okay, judge wishes Julian Assange a happy birthday before freeing him after 12 years. A man has lost 12 years of his life. Why? Why has a man lost 12 years of his life? Would that be for telling the truth and exposing the reality of a situation? For exposing corruption? A man has lost 12 years of his life. Julian Assange is officially a free man on his way home to Australia after pleading guilty to obtaining and publishing United States military secrets. 12 years after he first locked himself in a London embassy to avoid possible extradition to the US, the WikiLeaks founder on Wednesday boarded a flight to Canberra after a US judge declared he had already served his sentence in Belmarsh prison. 12 years for telling the truth. Judge Ramona Manglona wished an early happy birthday to Assange, who turns 53 next week. I hope you will start your new life in a positive manner, she said. Assange faced a cumulative sentence of up to 175 years on charges connected to his website's publication of hundreds of thousands of sensitive documents supplied in 2010 by Chelsea Manning, a former Army intelligence analyst who was later imprisoned for 7 years before her sentence was commuted. Appearing at a hearing on the remote Pacific island of Saipan, Assange formally pleaded guilty to violating the Espionage Act by publishing top-secret information about Iraq and Afghanistan wars. The Australian has now agreed to destroy the classified material the court heard. He exposed wrongdoing. He exposed things that are crimes. And he lost 12 years of his life for exposing the truth. How fucked up is that? How fucked up is that? You speak the truth, you lose 12 years of your life. That's corruption from the top down. Understand that. It is corruption from the top down. Those people that are supposed to be of integrity, those people that are supposed to be leaders of nations, corrupt, and when you expose it, you get put in prison. You lose part of your life. Not them bastards at the top. Not them bastards who you are encouraged to hero worship. Corrupt bastards. And that's exactly what is happening in the sport of Formula One. Fraudulent bastards who have committed crimes, who the media have covered those crimes up, and nobody is exposing it. And the guy who exposed the crimes of a country, a nation, loses 12 years of his life. These are the dynamics. You've all been encouraged to believe that, oh, this man poses a threat to national security. This man could result in saying these things, could result in attacks on America. It could pose a threat to Western democracy. It could pose a threat to the free world. Right, so what the fuck did you do, America? What were you doing over in Iraq? What were you doing in Afghanistan? What were you doing fucking with people's lives? Oh yeah, you were raping their natural resources. Yeah? You were going over there to impose Western democracy on these societies, were you, America? Is that what you were doing? Or was it that they had resources that you wanted, so you thought you'd go and fucking rape them for them? Like in every other fucking war you've ever had. Yeah, that would be it then, wouldn't it? That would be it. Because you didn't intervene when a genocide was going on in Rwanda, did you? You didn't. You just let that fucking burn, didn't you? You just let people kill each other. You didn't intervene there. You'll quite happily let Israel go and slaughter 40,000 plus Palestinians. Oh, yeah, let's just watch for a little bit. Keep supplying weapons. Let's just watch for a little bit. And let's establish whether or not it's a genocide or not. Let's decide in 6 months' time, after they've killed another 40,000 people, whether it is or not. Not sure about that. Bastards! Bastards! Corruption. Simple decisions that can be made on the grounds of what is right and what is wrong. Simple decisions. And we pretend, oh, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, it's law, isn't it? That's the law. You wouldn't understand. Bullshit. Bullshit. Simple decisions, simple rights, simple wrongs. And they pretend. They pretend they're powerless to do anything. Just like Abu Dhabi 2021. They pretend. Oh, it's all so confusing. Oh, but it could have been this. It could have been that. They should have done this. They could have done that. It was all a bit confusing. They were so much under pressure. But Max fully deserved it. Then the simplicity is, oh, you've got to wait until the track is safe. It wasn't safe until lap 57. You have to carry out this procedure to restore sporting fairness. You couldn't do that in time. The race ends behind a safety car. Lewis Hamilton's an 8-time world champion. Simple. Simple. There's your solution. But they didn't give you that solution. Why didn't they give you that solution? Because they didn't want that solution. It's because they made it that way. They're corrupt. It's what they wanted because it benefited them. They created the drama because it made them money. They created the conflict because it made them money. Corrupt bastards at the very top. Corrupt bastard individuals. Only concerned about money, not interested in integrity, not interested in sporting fairness, not interested in ethics, not interested in values that we should all have in society. They care about themselves. Narcissistic pricks, cunts, right? So totally interested in their own well-being. Fuck you. They only give a fuck about themselves. That's who we're dealing with. Bastards in this world. And we'll get cunts in the comments section that hero worship these pricks. That's who you are. So you little 14-year-old wank boys, okay, that hero worship the sport of Formula One. You don't have a clue about what it is that is actually going on here. But you've got a keyboard and you love Max Verstappen and you're there in your bedroom with your little wank sock on your keyboard trolling F1 YouTube channels. You think you're having a great impact on this world. Well done you. Well done you. You've not got a fucking clue. You'll always be asleep. You'll always be asleep. But I suggest you get out the fucking way. Because otherwise you're not going to know what's going to fucking hit you at some point. Wake the fuck up. Understand the dynamics. This is far bigger than Formula One. This isn't your average Formula One YouTube channel where some non-issue will come up and some prick will go, oh, well, this has now happened. I will now do a video about the latest revelation in Formula One and I will tell you what I think about it, even though they know fuck all about it. They want to tell you what they think about it. And then they'll invite you to tell you what you think in the comment section. Well, what's the fucking point of that? Let's have a little debate about something that nobody really knows about, because all you're doing is you're getting second-hand information reported to you by media who have put something out because there's an agenda to talk about some shit, because they want to divert your attention or they want to somehow create some sort of social media interaction to get the sport of Formula One being talked about again. And it gets you talking about it. A non-issue. Yeah? Valuable that is, isn't it? Let me tell you what I think about it. Well, you know fuck all about it, mate. You don't work for the FIA. Right? You don't work for any of these teams. You're not party to any of this conversations, but you've read something in social media or mainstream media about some brewing controversy, and now you want to tell us what you think about it. Waste of fucking time. Waste of fucking time. But you fall for that. Focus on what's real. Focus on the underlying dynamics of what's really going on. And you will see that this so-called sport that you hero worship is corrupt as fuck. And it can be used as an example to show you that so much of this world is corrupt as fuck. And we need to do something about it, because our lives, each and every one of our lives, is forever going to be impacted by this level of corruption. We've got elections in the UK coming up. For the last God knows how many years, what is it, 12, 14 years, the Conservative government has been in power. Right? 12, 14 years. One of the things that's presented to us is the problem of immigration. Okay, that's one of the things that they propose to us is one of the problems facing the UK is the problem of immigration. We've had a Conservative government governing this country for the past 12 or 14 years. Okay. One of their election videos, propaganda that they want to put out to win votes, to get people to vote for them, is saying, oh, if you vote for Labour, then it's effectively rolling out the red carpet and putting in a VIP lane to allow immigration. None of you want that, do you? Creating division, inciting people. Well, if it was that much of a problem to the Tory government, what the fuck were you doing for the last 14 years? You had 14 years to deal with it. Oh, but if we get elected, we're going to do something about it. Oh, you had 14 years, and the best thing that you could do was come up with an illegal fucking plan to deport people to Rwanda. That's the best you can do? Is that really going to be, is that within the law? Is that human rights? How do you deal with these things? Well, what you do, you look at it from a global view. You actually determine how much of an issue these kind of things really are. Why is it that certain people feel they need to flee their homeland in search of a better life? What's going on? What can be done about it? How desperate must people be to have to pay criminals to actually get on an illegal boat to make a journey across seas to a foreign land where they're risking effectively everything? How desperate must people have to be? And what's being done about it? Oh, we'll get our media to incite people and say, oh, if you vote for them, this is what they're going to do. You've had 14 years. What did you do? Oh, you awarded government contracts to your mates, and they're all multi-millionaires now. And they didn't deliver on those contracts. Oh, yeah, there's nothing we can do. Oh, yeah, never mind. The taxpayer will pay the burden for that. You crashed the British economy to the tune of 60 billion because you had a chat with your investment banker mates, your hedge fund managers. You said, hi guys, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think? Yeah, that's a good idea. We like that idea. Just give us a day. We'll just go and sort a few of our affairs out, and then you can make that announcement. We'll just shift a few things around. Oh, we've done really well out of this. Oh, the British government, your economy is now crashed to the tune of 60 billion. That's called insider trading. Where's the consequence? Nothing. Nothing. Who pays the price? Who pays the price? Whose mortgage payments have gone up £300, £400 a month? Maybe more for some people. Who, when you need emergency medical care, you go to hospital and you have to now wait 12 hours to get emergency care in a hospital because doctors and nurses are run off their feet because of chronic underfunding of a public service. Corruption affects our lives, while billionaire bastards are in the Monaco harbour on their yacht, and you hero worship them. You aspire to being them. You want to be them. A carrot is dangled in front of you. Oh, this could be you. You too should become an investment banker. You too shouldn't give a fuck about anybody. You're a success. As long as you're living your best life, fuck everybody else. Some of you like that. And to those of you that like that, I say fuck you. Fuck you. You're part of the problem. Part of the fucking problem. This video didn't really quite go how I wanted it to go. Started talking, got annoyed, went off on one down a different avenue. So I'm gonna stop this video now and do another one in the direction of what it was I was going to talk about. I'll probably post this one anyway, just because I've said it now, and it's stuff that needs to be said, and it's stuff that hopefully will wake one or two people up, and hopefully as more and more people wake up, it will inspire others who have greater abilities than myself to embark on similar campaigns, and hopefully they can have a far greater impact than I can have, and hopefully they can generate a further reaching platform than I can, because I like to subscribe to this idea of the butterfly effect of you never know what any actions impact further down the line. You never know what it is that's going to inspire somebody else to want to do something, and it could be something that they do that ultimately makes the necessary changes that it is you seek to make. So I hope it does. I hope some of the things that I say can inspire other people, and as long as other people are doing things for the right reasons, I wish you every success in it. I really do. I'm not jealous of other YouTube channels that are doing the right thing. I wish them every success. I'd rather boost them. Before even setting this channel up, I approached other YouTube channels that were better than me, had far greater skills than I've got. I wanted to act as support to them, provide them with the material, because they were better at delivering that material. Sadly, they declined, so you're forced into doing things yourself, and you're forced out of your comfort zone to having to do this sort of thing. But what do you do? If something needs to be done, somebody's got to do it. This guy felt that something needed to be done. Cost him 12 years of his life. So I wish you well, Julian Assange. I wish you well. You were a brave man. Well, you still are a brave man, and I hope that you get to live out the rest of your life in peace, and that's not cut short by corruption. But you have my respect for what it is you did. There needs to be more people like you. I hope what he has done serves to wake others up. 12 years of his life for exposing things in this world that are just clearly wrong. Thank you for your time.